that a member of your group will be part of this process.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, and yes, sir.
Related to your stories about the restaurants and the problems they were having, we have another place in Glen Ellen, just north of Richmond. And since we've been there, I've noticed there's a wonderful variety of small restaurants or businesses in Richmond and the surrounding area. I've wondered, why is it that there are so many really great restaurants in Richmond, and Virginia, relatively speaking, sucks? Because most of the things here are chains, except for some smaller ones that are hanging on, or some that are growing, like Why Not? Is anybody actually tracking the time it takes for permits and for a business to get started in Virginia Beach compared to other parts?
Our process team is looking at it. One of the guys, we have the chair is Tuck Bowie. He's the former head of the Tidewater Builders, but Tony from Why Not Pizza has been involved. Dave Browning, who owns Security Palace Restaurant, is on it, and he's also a retired Norfolk homicide detective. We got some good people. Yeah, we're starting to look at that because, once again, I was trying to say that, when you get these, when places don't get open, and the thing is, and I'm going to be selfish, I am a district guy. I want people coming to businesses and restaurants in my district, okay? If you're going to town center, you're not going to, in other places like Buchanello's and some other places. We're building a microbrewery where the William E. Wood Farm is on Kempsville Road, okay? That my hope is there that's going to revitalize Woods Corner.
That's all they're building is microbrewery.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's going to become, because once again, I'm trying to get a good restaurant, because where Cheryl's was there, that's been vacant for a while and everything. So sometimes one type of business, if you start getting people coming, okay?
Awesome.
I took, oh my God, did I take arrows? A number of years ago, when I wanted to put a bingo hall in Woods Corner. Woods Corner at the time was totally dead. There was a lot of vacancies and everything in there. And so they put in a bingo hall, and believe it or not, this bingo hall, groups go in there and, they run benefits and they give a lot of money to charities and everything. And it was a very good vendor. And they put a Rudy and Kelly's Hair Academy in there. Guess what it did for the businesses? Now all of a sudden they got cars there. As a result of that going in, Pollard's Chicken took over the Virginia Union Bank. So the point is, though, even though it was a microbrewery, we're going to get people coming to a part of the city that a lot of people usually don't go to, and then maybe they start getting a spin-off business, at the other places.
And you're also attracting a different, younger demographic, which is the future. So that's a smart move as well.
Yeah. So the thing is, my thing is build wealth. Because once again, it'll help pay the bills with the city without. Because, X amount, like I said, we got to be more, not only effective, but efficient with what we do.
Well, build wealth and cut spending.
Yeah, but I agree with that. Trust me, I agree with that. But the point is, though, if I have a vacant business in my strip malls, in my district, that's not helping anybody. And then what happens is then the whole strip mall goes down and everything. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, a lot of those brick and mortar businesses are having tremendous challenges now. With the online, you can buy stuff online without having to pay taxes for it. There's a lot of businesses that are struggling and going out. So when they talk about how many businesses were created in town, the real telling thing is how many businesses went out. You realize that there are, in Virginia Beach, what are considered about 1,000 restaurants, okay? Granted, it includes people that make, processed food like Wawa and 7-Eleven and everything, but there's a lot of restaurants and a lot of them closed. And I was at a restaurant recently, a rib place in, close to me, okay? Chinese restaurant that was there for years went out of business not too long ago. And this guy says, I'm competing with Town Center. Okay? So the point is, I see this, and in my own way, I'm gonna try to do something to mitigate it, to improve it. But once again, I ask for your patience, because once again, I wish I could say that changes happen. You know, trying to change an organizational culture is a challenge. But, you know, we gotta try it, and the point is, the more folks that we can get behind it, the better we're gonna be.
This is a little bit off the subject as far as businesses, but a lot of people that I talk to, they've been making comments that they went to the Neptune Festival and there weren't that many people at the vendors shopping. They were able to park easy. It was like the crowds were really low. And I know that the taxpayer puts a lot of money into the Neptune Festival. And I'm just wondering if you're able to know, or do you know if there's been a decline in the amount of money earned, or, because I know one or two at least vendors that have said, I lost my shirt at the Neptune Festival. So I'm just wondering.
We have a gentleman
And if
on.
it is, should we continue to save
Well,
money?
They have the same problem with the arts festival too.
Yeah, from what I understand from a member of our process team that owns a business there, he said it was a very soft season at the oceanfront this year.
So was every even Memorial, I mean, I've noticed that, and my friends are talking, they're like, wow, what's going on? And things like charging for the sand sculptures, I think, has, first of all, a lot of locals are like, no, you know, $10 to go look at sand sculptures per person,
To that
things
point,
like that.
to that point,
Yeah.
I've been participating in the Neptune Festival for 20 years, building sand sculptures in the business division. We used to have 35 to 40 competitions of locals, because the Neptune Festival was locals taking back our beach. So we all went down as companies and built sculptures. When we went down and built the one on No Light Rail, the total number of private sector sculptures from locals was 5, counting us. The Neptune Festival took a locals event and turned it into an oceanfront cash cow for their hotel rooms and drove away the locals. And that's part of
That's
why.
why it's failing.
Right.
I'd like to I appreciate everyone's comments, but I know Mr. Dyer had said that he needed to end earlier because he had another commitment. So I appreciate his willingness to come before us. I'm sorry that there weren't more people here to hear this information, but he has offered to come again, and I always appreciate his candidness. And I think the fact that we see the reality of we're climbing up a hill when it comes to dealing with city government. But as long as we have people like Bob Dyer, we have John Moss, we've now put Jessica Abbott on, we're closing that gap of the elite versus the citizens. So
And just remember that a lot of the committees that I have, I've always invited a member of the Taxpayers Alliance to participate. But listen, I just, sincerely want to thank you folks, because guess what? You're the folks that take your time and effort to come here and participate. And, sometimes sometimes trying to do things, I'm sure you feel like you're running a marathon on a treadmill, okay? But the point is, if you keep on trying, tenacity always kind of wins out over time. But the point is, thank you for your efforts, thank you for caring. How do you disparage people that are trying to care and make a good positive difference? And I will be looking forward to working with you. Will we agree 100% of the time? No, but back in the day when Reagan was drinking scotch with Tip O'Neill, and they agreed 85% of the time, things got done. So the point is, we are in agreement on most things. Let's be like Larry the Cable Guy. Get it done. Thank you.
You can stand in the middle like this.
Yeah, I will.